All right, got the spark plugs here. They look really rough, obviously. I want to put them back in, and just so they're in place and not laying around, and these holes are closed up. I know this motor's frozen like Fort Knox and been full of all kinds of trash over the years, but kind of want it to be sitting there, you know, in one piece as much as possible. I'm not gonna put everything back on it because I will use some parts. So the other tractor, it doesn't have there's a oil filter assembly here. Here, I've got it on the shelf here. So this bolt's here. This is the oil filter canister. It doesn't look too horrible, so it might be able to be saved and go on the other tractor. Also, I've got the magneto. It looks pretty rough, but there's a good chance it could be rebuilt. It goes right here, so I'm gonna hold on to that too. Kind of ironic because that's pretty much the lifeblood of the tractor. Without that there, you have no spark, the engine won't run. So kind of nice to have that from Granddaddy's tractor to go on this tractor, if it works out. But you know, one step at a time with everything. Kind of a theme here. When I started the project, started this channel, it was been encouraged many times just to take it one step at a time, from your girlfriend to family members to everybody. So coming together slowly but surely, and one step at a time in the path that it's going to take. Screw these bad boys in. It's almost like kind of like a museum piece. It's gonna sit in the corner of the shop for now, and if I need any other parts off of it, it'll be there. That one's kind of stiff. There we go. Perfect. One step at a time. All right, everybody. So I had this idea of putting a seat back on it, just for looks, and you know, maybe some kids want to play on it or something like that. But of course with adult supervision. But anyway, so I grabbed the old seat, and as you can see, it's really rusted out. Very, very rusty. In fact, it was so rusty that it had fallen off. Just pulled right off. So what I did is I got a piece of scrap metal I had laying around the shop here, and I got some self-tapping screws and screwed this piece to the seat to try and grab some of the structural part that's still there. So you can see them sticking through here. And then I drilled 2 holes in it to match up with 2 holes on this seat support. So, and then I've got some bolts out of my bolt spin over there, just some scrap bolts, and gonna put those in like so, hopefully. Yep, like that. And just gonna get these nuts here, thread them on. Very nice. Grab my air ratchet. Yeah. That's pretty secure. How about that? starting to look like a tractor again. Got these bands back on. Set the gas tank back on and got these bands kind of straightened out. They were bent, but they straightened out just fine. Found some bolts out of my used bolts bin and just bolting this back on so it doesn't fall off. Some of you might be thinking, why am I going to all this trouble? I just leave the parts all out and not put it back together, but I think it's better if these parts are on it so they don't get lost. And I just like for it to be in one piece and be able to look at it. It's looking kind of cool. All right, everybody. What we've got here is the steering shaft. I've got it clamped in the vise. I'm trying to get this old piece of the old steering wheel off. I want to reuse this steering shaft on the other tractor. The steering shaft that was on the other tractor, somebody bought it, I guess. It wasn't there. So I'd like to try and reuse this shaft as part of like Granddaddy's tractor. I have a steering wheel that can go on here from the other tractor that's in one piece, but I gotta get this nut off, and it is rusted like Fort Knox. So got out the old torch and we'll give it a try here. Heat it up and see what happens. So as you can see, that got really, really hot. Set the torch down. That's hot. Glowing hot. Hot, hot. This is gonna, oh, look at that. That is just amazing. Did y'all see that? Look at that nut. Just popped right off of there. That's why everybody says torch is like your best friend in the tractor garage, if I can quote Kenny Chisel. Look at that. That's amazing. I tried to move that a little bit earlier before I got the torch out. Let me tell you, it didn't budge at all. This is really great. It's getting a little stiff, but it's still moving. stiff here. Getting tight. I don't know if I need to maybe hit it again. I think basically kind of turn the metal into molten lava again. And that's why it comes loose. It's getting there though. Look at that. I don't want that nut to fall. Hit my leg. It's burning hot. Oh yeah. Success. Right. So I pounded on this a little bit. Get that off. Looks like we got one more piece to get off here, and I'm not sure. Oh, there it goes. Those both came off. Very nice. Put some gloves on because that sucker was hot. It's actually getting warm through these leather gloves. That's how hot that torch gets everything. What a great tool. So, the next goal is to slide this off. Whoops. So this is the piece I was after for the tractor. This is the steering rod. So I want to put this back on the old tractor. And put this on the newer tractor as a tribute. Sorry, I got too much in my hands. Getting the gloves off and everything.